If you're listening or watching in the Chicago area, it's no secret. The winters here can be brutal, and the spring typically brings some pretty nasty storms. For a homeowner, winters mean your gutters, windows, and doors take a beating, and then wind and hail kind of finish the job when spring rolls around. If you think you have damages that could qualify you for a roof and or siding replacement through your insurance, you need to talk to my friends at Suburban Roofing and Siding for a free 9-point inspection of your property exterior before you call your insurance company. Let them assess any damages you may have and walk you through the steps of a claim, hassle-free. They're an accredited member of the Better Business Bureau with an A-plus rating, and all their contractors are licensed, bonded, and insured. They also use the highest quality materials available at no additional charge to you. Call 224-677-6149, 224-677-6149, or visit them at suburbanroofingandsiding.com.
It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
And welcome to Car Con Carne. We are right by the tap room of Go Brewing in Naperville, which is the very first non-alcoholic brewery in the state of Illinois. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Holy crap. Joe Chura is the president of Go. We are here in dry January. Joe is drinking an NA beer. What are you drinking? That looks fantastic.
This is a chocolate cherry stout. It's our brand new beta beer.
Chocolate cherry stout.
Yeah.
On tap only?
No, we have it in cans now. We just came
Really?
yesterday. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about the brewery and the beers, but let's start with the fact that the NA space has just exploded over the past few years. To the point where when I learned that Go existed, my first thought was, I can't believe someone hasn't done this sooner. Like, it feels like this space has just been begging for this for a while.
Yeah, it is a polarizing thing to people. I see reactions on both ways, both sides of the fence here. In fact, the first Facebook comment that I saw when I decided to announce to the world we were creating this was, I can't wait not to go there. And and I had to look at that and laugh, because the reality is it may not be right for everyone, but anyone who is looking forward to maybe a healthier lifestyle, some better habits, reduced alcohol consumption, lower calories. We wanted a place that was inclusive for those people, but also didn't exclude people that liked alcohol. So we wanted to go on a mission to create no and low, and that's all we produce here.
And by low alcohol, are we talking like in the ones and the twos? Like how low?
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the way we defined it, and there isn't necessarily governance around this, but we said anything that's from 0.5 to 2.5 or under would be considered our low alcohol. So we don't want to go above that threshold.
So, and what would the difference be? Because you're not getting drunk off drinking low alcohol. Is there an extra warmth?
Alcohol in itself has calories, and therefore it has a little more body, a little more sweetness. So therefore, the higher alcohol content beer, you're going to get some of that. When you take that away, you can't necessarily replace it one for one. I mean, certainly our NA beers, I think, compete with regular strength beers. But if you're having like a 7 or 8% double hazy IPA and you have one of our hazies, you're gonna taste a difference in the body. Sure. Because there's a lot of calories in that.
And that's just it. The beauty, I think, of NA beer is you can use it as part of your drinking strategy. If you want to have one of those super high caloric 7-point whatever beers, you can't drink those all night long from an intoxication standpoint, but from like a bloating and just feeling full standpoint. Yeah. So you can introduce NA as kind of like buffer drinks before you drink those big drinks or after you drink those big drinks.
This happened last night, and I was closing a customer out. I looked at his tab, and he had one of our guest beers that we have on tap from Solomon that makes phenomenal beer. Mm-hmm. And then he had one of our beers. So he actually did have a hazy from Solomon and a hazy from us. And I said, you know what? You're going to feel great tomorrow. And he's like, I feel great now, and you're right, I'm going to feel great tomorrow. And that is like the customer base that I thought we were going to attract, is a lot of those moderate drinkers that understand that you can't have 3 or 4 8% beers anymore, and one, legally be able to drive, but secondly, feel good the next morning and feel productive.
So NA beer, by definition, is less than 0.5%.
Correct.
And that's what all the NA beers are here.
Correct.
0.3, 0.4, whatever. The process, I think, is still mysterious to most of us. How you create something that tastes like the Burn It Down, which I had before we started talking. How it tastes like beer, but it's not beer. How do you get is there like some kind of crazy machinery that does that?
It is beer. So that's the beauty about this. If you taste NA products, you may be disappointed in the what you're getting in your palate because of the alcohol content, because of what we just talked about. So there is a lot of processes that go into play to get most NA products to be NA, and that is to remove the alcohol. You do that through various types of machines. I consider that processing the alcohol out. What we do is not that at all. If you walk into our brewery, you see the way we make beer. It is not dissimilar to any other brewery. What we do different is different grain bills, different ratios. Our fermentation process is less. So it's just a different style of brewing the beer. But we use the same exact classical ingredients that you would use for like a Pilsner or an IPA. And that is how you get that taste. But it 100% is beer, and that is why I think beer is probably the best NA product, because you're truly making it the same way you make any other beer.
You're not approximating, say, gin or bourbon. You're
100%. You're not adding ginger in there to get the flavor of that burn.
Right. And I'm not mistaken, there's like a laboratory in this facility.
Yeah, it was really important for us to focus on safety and quality. We have only a few full-time employees here, but the second hire that we had was a guy with a background in quality and worked for a bigger brewery, ran a lab there. So we have an Anton Par ASBC method machine in here. We have a ton of lab equipment, and we do testing like crazy for 2 reasons. One, non-alcoholic beer doesn't have the preservatives in it like alcohol does. So you have to be really careful with that. And you'll also see, as this market emerges, people are making NA beer, but they're not pasteurizing it, which is not a great thing. So we have a canning line here where we pasteurize all of our beer. And basically what that means is once the beer is made 100% in a can, lids on, it goes through this tunnel pasteurizer, and it basically shoots very hot water at the can for a few minutes to kill off anything that could possibly grow inside of it. And the other thing it does is it stops the alcohol content. So the lab was very much for the reason of safety and quality. However, the other thing what the lab does is ensures we are under 0.5%.
Got it.
So there's only like one machine that's out there, and we found it that is certified to give us the right accurate readings. We do outside lab testing as well, but there's no wiggle room with the 0.5. Like with other beers that you might have a huge variance of what alcohol is actually in that beer. When something says NA and it's under 0.5, you can't have like 0.52 and say I'm pretty close.
Can't be 0.5-ish.
It can't. So like the lab was really important to really test out both of those things.
So let's talk about the space, since I mentioned the laboratory. Again, this is in Naperville. It's 1665 Quincy. It's right. Is that Ogden we're right off of?
Correct.
Yeah. Right off Ogden in Naperville. It's in this area. If you live in this area, and you drink beer, you're probably already familiar with the area because of Solemn Oath.
Correct.
Right across the parking lot. But this facility, I saw this mentioned on your website, the word vibe. There is a vibe here. Like there's some real mindfulness behind what you experience when you walk into this tap room. There's kind of a library feel. There's exposed brick everywhere. It's designed as a place you want to hang out at.
That was the intention. I appreciate that compliment. I wanted a place that's inclusive for everyone, and the feeling that when you walk in to be warmth and welcome and a place you want to gather with friends, I wanted to take it up a notch. My wife and I went to Seattle, and they have an amazing brewery scene. And there's this neighborhood we went into, and literally, like, you cross the street and there's a brewery. You go across the other way, a block down, there's another brewery. There's more breweries per square mile. But the problem at the end of that tour, I couldn't remember any of them.
Right.
Everything tasted the same. Everything looked the same. And I love going to breweries, but I was like, you know what? Could I create a place with a stage where we do storytelling, we do cold plunges, we do fitness activities, and we bring like this community and this programming in that someone can look at and say, I could be part of something bigger.
Right.
And that was the goal.
I love it. And the stage, I mean, it's really nice. Like, I could see lots of opportunity with that.
Yeah, we'd have live music every weekend. My partner and I, who's unfortunately not here right now, he would be in the back seat with us. But
maybe that's why he's not here. He didn't want to be relegated to the back seat.
We love live music. Like, we love that vibe, and there's just not a lot of it. So we're like, man, to have a place where not only can you have non-alcoholic beer, but you can have this sense of like, this is a cool vibe. We're occupying our weekend, and we're gonna enjoy music, and then the next day feel great. Like, that's the
and
goal.
just enjoy the ritual of drinking without being drunk. Like, enjoy all those comforting things about being around a group, having a couple, having loud music,
Yep.
and walking out of here thinking, yeah, I'm driving home now. We're all good.
Yeah, our slogan's "Remember Tomorrow," and that's so intentional because the goal behind that was you can have a ton of fun tonight. You can get wasted. You could jump on the table and start dancing around, getting crazy. But remember tomorrow, because tomorrow, those kids aren't going to give you any sort of sympathy.
Yeah, they're still
empathy.
waking up at 6 a.m.
They're still waking up.
Yeah.
Like, you have a job to do, and anything you do in life takes you closer or further away from your goals. And that's what I realized. It took me 40 years to realize this plus. But most people don't wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I wish I drank more last night. It's usually the opposite.
So I mentioned at the onset, this is the first NA brewery in the state of Illinois. I've got to think, as mentioned, this category is exploding. You're not going to be the last. And I've talked to different craft brewers around the city and suburbs, and the way they describe the craft scene is that it's very supportive and very community-based. Do you foresee the same in the NA space, or do you feel like it'll be more competitive because it is so new?
It's a good question. I don't know how that's going to pan out. I mean, for me to say it's not going to be competitive, any field or any business that's being created is certainly competitive in nature in some way. So I do think there's going to be this sense of camaraderie amongst brewers, period. NA in itself has a lot of inherent challenges with it. So if there is a brewery out there that wants to make NA beer and they're going through this process, I mean, we would help them just like other breweries have helped us. I think the more the merrier in the space. The beauty about what we do is there's not barriers to selling the beer per se to a lot of unorthodox places. Like, there's clothing stores that are now carrying our beer that when you're shopping, right?
That's
and
brilliant.
You could have a beer. We're in barber shops. We're in these very unorthodox establishments, and I think
I want to have a
super
beer as I'm
cool.
getting my haircut.
Right? Isn't that?
I mean,
isn't that awesome?
As I'm going record shopping.
I mean, think about. Yeah, that's a great one too. But think about, like, you're at the kids' soccer game and you're just sitting there.
Yep.
Like, you can't drink alcohol in there. I mean, you might be able to, but or you're indoors somewhere, and you know how those days go with kids. Imagine being able to have an NA beer and it's perfectly legal, it's perfectly fine, and you're not going to have any ramifications.
That would be fantastic.
Right.
I love it. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
All right, so we're in dry January. One of the many reasons I wanted to talk to you is we're in dry January. Like, this is your Super Bowl right here for an NA brewery.
Yeah, we were gearing up for this for a while. Yep.
So a month full of events, special stuff going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So we created a challenge called Go Dry January, and it's on our website, and we have hundreds of people that have signed up. I'm so humbled and blessed that we've already been able to accumulate such a large audience of folks that want to participate in things like this. We've been open since October 15th, which the date we're talking, we're not even 90 days into into this brewery. But up until January, we had been open only on weekends. Now, to support people in dry January and to just kind of test things out, because when you create a business, it's a lot about testing and finesse. We're open now Tuesday through Sunday. We open at noon. We're promoting work from Go as an alternative to a coffee shop, which
Why
is
not?
pretty cool too. Yeah, I mean, you could be on a Zoom meeting drinking beer, and your boss might look at you funny and ask a question, but at the same time, you'd be like, "This is NA beer."
Why not?
Exactly.
Oh, I love that. Jumping back to distribution, you talked about where you are. I know that's a big challenge for brewery owners, just getting that shelf space. But you seem to be pretty well branching out, west suburbs especially. But I know you're in a couple north side shops. I'm assuming that in and of itself is a full-time job working on that side of the business.
It is, and we're learning. I didn't have a background in brewing at all, or understanding this industry, and what's happening now is really cool. Like, a lot of where we end up is from incoming leads to our website. So we have we're starting conversations with how to get our beer in places faster. But what we want to do is really concentrate on the direct-to-consumer business, and that is selling off our website. So we can sell, as I stated, to 43 states. I wake up, we get orders every day from like the East Coast, from the West Coast, places that you're like, how did they even hear of us? Obviously, we're doing some targeted
there's an
marketing.
appetite. There's
There
marketing,
is.
sure, but there's an
Yeah.
appetite for NA product, good
There
NA
is.
product.
There is, yeah. But yeah, anyone who's listening to this call, like, the best thing if you want the beer in your establishment is to have a conversation with whoever the buyer is, the bar owner, and say, hey, you should carry Go Brewing. Like, and then they reach out to us, and we'll get it on their shelves within days. Like, that's the other cool thing is, because we're doing this ourselves. Like, there's not rules or regulations in terms of, or speed to market. Like if you contact us, we could literally get it to an establishment within a few days.
I love that. And going back to what you were saying earlier about your beers not having preservatives like high alcohol beers, what's the lifespan? So if I buy a bunch of cans today, like, when should I consume those by? Because they're all fresh.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think within a month is you're going to have the freshest experience. Within 90 days, it starts to degrade. You can have the beer, because it is pasteurized, up to 6 months. I think past then, anything canned that's liquid isn't going to be as good.
And really, who leaves beer in the fridge for longer than a month anyway?
Right.
That's just not done. Let's talk a little bit about the beers. I sampled a flight. You have a grapefruit IPA that is just ridiculous. I love that. Is that an experimental one, or is that like a...
Yeah. So we have our kind of 5 base beers. I should say that first. That's our Burn It Down IPA. We have
I also love that. That's something.
That's one of my favorites too. We have a Prophet's Hazy. We have a Suspended and Sunbeam Pilsner. We have a Street Cred Stout, and we have a Head On Wit Beer. So those are kind of, think about those as like our 5 base beers. So we've been brewing
That's
those.
your starting lineup.
That's our starting lineup. We've been brewing those for a year and a half. Been brewing on my garage, experimenting thousands of different batches just to kind of figure this stuff out. But then we created what's called our beta series, and our beta series is beer that we're not sure about. We want to test the market, so we have a QR code on our cans that says "Give us feedback." Should this make it into our base lineup? Should we expand our starting lineup?
I love that.
And
that right there, that's what community is all about. That's
Right.
what being a community brewery is all about. Like, you have a voice.
100%. And when people give us feedback, even it's on our website or on like, hey, this is too hard to find, like, we take action right away. Like, there's no huge corporate structure to go through to like get something done.
Here's the
which is
corporate
awesome
structure
about
right
that.
here.
Yeah, exactly. Just contact me. But yeah, I mean, these beta series beers are really starting to kind of take off, and people are liking them. So they're a little bit experimental, like the grapefruit IPA that you're talking about. Very grapefruity, very fruit forward. Like, if you like grapefruit, you're gonna probably like it. If you don't like grapefruit, you may not. We have this beer here. This is a chocolate cherry stout. We use 25 pounds of cacao in it. It's dairy free, but it's like it is truly made and with a ton of cherries too. It is made in a way where it just has this great taste, but it's light and you don't feel bloated. And then we have
Hey, that can't be said often enough, that not feeling bloated.
oh my god, 1,000,000%.
If you're looking for one reason to drink NA beer, that
it's so true. And I'm here all hours of the days and nights, right. And
Sure.
and I'm drinking 10 of these a day. Yesterday, I'm ashamed to admit, I was so busy I didn't even eat, and I was survived on any beer. I would not recommend that. You should eat. Do not plan on surviving on this. But at the same time, I went home. I woke up today. We just did a huge run out here that I talked to you about. I felt perfect.
That's awesome.
Not one iota of I drank anything.
You remember tomorrow.
I remember tomorrow. Yeah.
All right, so again, 1665 Quincy in Naperville. That's your Joe Chura. This is Go Brewing in Naperville. I guess I'll leave you with this question. That you just opened in October, I mean. This is a brand new everything. Obviously, running this business, you have visions for the future. What will we be talking about 1 year from now, next January?
I would like to really ramp up where we're at. So talking about the different unique establishments, like we had just started the conversation about, and just even sharing ideas with you, where else do you see this as being a fit where someone can have an NA beer, but maybe in a very unorthodox place. So having those conversations of where's the weirdest place that your beer's at, right? Maybe I was just talking to a church group yesterday. I don't know. Who knows where this will go? So I think having that conversation is great. What stores, establishments, what states, what's the market share? Starting to kind of get those numbers, because we are positioning ourselves to be a national brand. And right now we're starting really local. We have one brewery here. Is it going to expand where we have a regional brewery on the West Coast? Because when you ship to the West Coast, it's a little bit more expensive. So
Yeah.
you got to think about that. So those are conversations that are feasible in the future. But right now, I'm dead set focused on our customer base here, our customer base that's carrying our beer, and just creating the best possible experience.
Well, and the big question someone may have watching or listening, is it any good? The answer is yes. It's beer. It tastes delicious. I can attest. It's no secret. NA beer sucked for years, decades.
Yeah.
And to have it done with craft sensibility and to taste like this, I think this is what we've all been waiting for.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And it helped me on my journey. I used to be significantly overweight, and I abstained from alcohol for a period of time, and I curbed my craving through NA beer. So I give credit to the NA brewers out there, to Athletic and the others that really kind of made this made the alternative to what you talked about, the O'Douls and the other beers that weren't really that great, because it kind of proved the market, and that I'd be remiss if I did not give them some credit and say thank you for that, because it helped my life. And now we want to spread that and create a lot more beer to help others as well.
And that's the difference. Before, NA beer was just kind of like a placebo, and now it's something you can enjoy and share and talk about.
100%. And what's crazy about this too is you start to gravitate toward the taste of NA beer more than regular beer, because it's just of that lighter feeling that you get.
I love it. Thank you so much, and good luck. Good luck. That sounds like this is a risk. This is a sure thing. Congratulations on what you've accomplished so far and what you will continue to accomplish moving forward.
Oh, thank you. And there's no sure things by any means. This is a very hard business. There's a lot of capital involved in it,
Yeah, I'm
obviously.
sure.
A lot of competition.
Do you need a couple bucks?
I might take you up on that. But it's a blessing to be able to do this. I wake up every day with gratitude, to have hands on keyboard, to be building something from nothing, to create a product that didn't exist. I am the happiest I've been in many years. But I can't thank you enough for letting me be on this podcast too.